welcome to IDW Deuce. In this journal entry, I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to do a real estate comp. Let's get right to it. First and foremost, what is a real estate comp? A real estate comp is just a tool that you can use to figure out the market value of a property. Now, say you're trying to list a property, you're trying to figure out how much to list it for, you would run a real estate comp to figure out what properties are being valued at in that market. Also, if you are trying to buy a property and you don't know what is a good amount to actually offer for the property, then you would also run a comp to figure out what properties are going for in the market. So it's just a tool for you to figure out market value of a certain property in a certain area. Now, the first thing you want to do is get all the information you can on your subject property. You want to know things like how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, what's the square footage of the property, how many acres is it sitting on, what area is it, and obviously location. Your location is going to dictate a lot about how much a property is going to be worth. Also, you want to figure out what if there are any additions or renovations for the property. What are some of the unique features of the property? Like, does it have a finished basement? Is there like a home theater or something? Do you have a sauna? I mean, things like that add value to the property, obviously, versus whatever other properties are in the area. So on top of the interior finishes, you want to think about what are the exterior finishes? Are there swimming pools? Is there a detached garage that might have an in-law suite? Like, all things like this add to the value of a property, so you want to keep these things in mind. Now, once you have all the information on your subject property, the next thing you want to do is start gathering comps, things that have sold recently in the area. Obviously, you want these comps to be as close to the subject property as possible. You don't want anything too far out because that could be a totally different type of price range. If you're in like an urban area and it's highly condensed, something that's right next to you is going to be valued a lot differently than something that's like 5 miles down the road. So usually you want to keep them within a quarter mile to a mile radius. Also, when you're looking at properties that have recently sold, you want them to be as close in similarity as your subject property. You don't want to be looking at ranchers and versus colonials. You want them to be the same type. You want them to have the same amount of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, acreage, same structure. Like, you want them to be as close as possible to your subject property. Otherwise, the comp is not going to be as good or as detailed or exact as you need it to be. Also, another thing, you want to make sure that you gather as many comps as you can. You want at least 4 to 5. The more the better, the more accurate your estimate is going to be. Now, on top of recently sold properties, you want to be looking at properties that are actively listed. This will give you an idea of what other real estate professionals feel that those properties are valued at and where the market is at that point in time. Again, you want them to be as similar to the subject property as possible. And another thing, this is your competition. If these are properties that are actively listed that are in your area and you're looking at listing your property, this is what you're going to be going against. So it's a good idea for you to take a look at the competition and see how much they're going for so you can list your property accordingly. Now, the best actively listed comps to be looking at are actually the ones that are already under contract. Now, this will tell you that somebody feels that this is what the property is worth. So that will be a very good indicator of what people are willing to pay for properties in that area. Okay, now the last thing you need to do is just put everything all together. All the comps that you found for recently sold properties, you need to add those all together and divide them by the number that you found. If you found 5 properties, you're going to be dividing them by 5, obviously. The same thing with the actively listed properties. You want to add them up and divide them by the number of properties that you found. Now, this will give you your range. This is the range that you will list your property in, depending on how aggressive you want to be. If you really want to get your property sold, you want to probably list on the lower side. Now, but if you want to maximize your dollar, then you obviously want to put your property on the high end of that range. And there you have it, people. That's pretty much it. It's a real simple process. All it is the law of averages. You find as many similar properties to your subject property, you add the number up and you divide the total by the number of comps that you actually found. It's not rocket science. Now, there are other ways that you can run your comps, meaning you can add a lot more detail to it, because obviously not all homes are going to be exact. Take a look at how appraisers run comps, but they also do a lot more in-depth analysis on each property that they are comparing. So usually appraisers comps are a lot different from just your average comp that you're gonna run. Again, this is a tool that a lot of real estate professionals use. This is how they figure out how much to list a property for or how much to offer for a property. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you found value in the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, share with somebody that can find value in it as well. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next journal entry. Deuces.